Right guys, hope you're doing well, hope you're all keeping safe, welcome back. So I actually had a video planned for today. It was basically talking about underused talents versus underused gear sets and which one is a priority, and that's based off a tweet that came out from Trick today. It's kind of a news type video, but I've had to delay that video because of this. Now this is not normally this wouldn't be much of a problem, right? It's just your standard, the servers are going to shut down for maintenance tomorrow. However, if you were to go through to the maintenance updates link, what it says is that they're going to be deploying TU14 and that the patch notes for that will be coming very, very soon. And of course, as soon as that came out, speculation everywhere about what TU14 will be. Now, my understanding of TU14 was that this would be some changes in the game, although I'm not sure what they are. Plus, then you'd have the Apparel Event, which is the new Apparel Event. And now Yannick did say, I think it was last week possibly, that we'd get some news on the Apparel Event soon. And so this isn't really news, but this was kind of their way of saying, look guys, tomorrow the Apparel Event will go live, Tuesday the 14th of December. And of course, very excited because I've always had this thing with Apparel Events is that usually they show everything in the Apparel Event, right, before you actually get into it. So you kind of, there's no surprise, right? And I don't really like that. I like just going in blind most of the time. It's part of my job that unfortunately, I say my job is part of my channel for you guys, that I do kind of spoil it for myself a little bit in order to bring the information to you guys that want to see it. But for the most part, I like to go into new content and Apparel Events specifically, not knowing what we're going to get and just kind of finding out myself in the game along with you guys. And so I was kind of glad to hear this. Obviously, they didn't say that TU14 was going to be an Apparel Event, but I think it was pretty obvious. Now, I'm not sure if you can tell by the tone of my voice, but yeah, it's not going to happen. So, unfortunately, TU14 was meant to be an Apparel Event, and it is no longer an Apparel Event. And there is going to be some changes. The patch notes are not live yet, but of course, when they come out, we'll cover them. But the Apparel Event is actually being canned, and it's going to release next year with the February content release, which, guys, is also been delayed. Which is man, I didn't want to hear about that. I didn't want that to happen, but we'll go over, because following this, the Division 2 account actually tweeted out but that they're delaying everything basically. So let's go and take a look at that. All right, so here it is, a message from the Division 2 team agents with new content being actively developed for the game. Our ambition has always been to continue to deliver the best the Division 2 experience for our dedicated players and newcomers alike. In order to achieve this goal, we have today made the decision to delay the upcoming Apparel Event, which was meant to be tomorrow, guys, which Yannick has actually confirmed on Twitter, as well as the February title update to a later date in 2022. While we understand that this news is disappointing, we strongly believe that this extra time will allow us to continue building towards our vision for the future of the Division 2. As we look to restart a more regular update schedule on the Division 2 moving forward, we want to build on the existing content and further polish our next update core elements, including the new game mode, season narrative, and new features. Due to this delay, this also means the PTS will be delayed. Rest assured, it will remain an important milestone on the new timeline, as your feedback is extremely valuable to support us with the finishing touches to the update. To ensure our team will be able to focus all of their efforts into this new timeline, we will be looking forward to resuming our communication closer to our new release date. On behalf of the whole team, we'd like to thank you for your continued support and understanding. So there we have it, guys. What can I say? I mean, I'm disappointed, obviously, right? Because I was expecting this content to come out in February. I mean, initially, before we knew about it coming out in February, I thought it'd be coming out in December, and then it got delayed to February, and now it's being delayed again. So, of course, I'm disappointed because I was looking forward to the February content release. I was also looking forward to this Apparel Event because we had no idea what it's about, and I was looking forward to some. I mean, it's new content, right? It's not a new game mode, it's not that sort of stuff, but it is kind of new content. And I was looking forward to that. So I'm very disappointed, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are disappointed now. Am I happy that they're delaying this because they don't feel the update is good enough to release? Yes, because unfortunately we live in an age of gaming where it doesn't matter how broken an update is, it gets released anyway. Or even a game, look at Battlefield 2042. I mean, that got absolutely just destroyed in the first couple of weeks. It's still getting destroyed now. because it was broken when it wasn't, you know, when it wasn't ready, right? And it definitely wasn't ready to go out into release. Call of Duty Vanguard is the same, and the devs now have a hard job having to try and fix those things. So I'd much rather them delay it and make sure it comes out not broken. You know, when Warlords of New York first came out, if any of you guys played that, you'll know that there was a lot of bugs and a lot of problems when that came out. It wasn't quite to the same extent of some of these new releases, but it wasn't great. The experience was good, but there was a lot of stuff getting in the way, and I don't really want that with this new update. So if they need an extra couple of months in order to make that happen, fine. And I guess I trust them, but then there's a part of me that says, is this happening because they just simply don't have the resources working on this? I find that unlikely. If they've given a February release date, then I find it unlikely. And of course, guys, that would have had to have been approved by Ubisoft. I find it unlikely that they knew they wouldn't make that, because it wouldn't make much sense to disappoint us as players, right? If they knew it was going to be ready for May, they would have just said May. For example, they're not going to say February and then disappoint us. So I suspect what they're saying around it, they needed more time and stuff, is actually true, and it's not because they simply don't have enough people working on it. I don't think that's the case. What I will say is, and I can't say too much, guys, because I'm almost sworn to secrecy on this, but what I will say is that I'm happy they are delaying this for one reason in particular, and that's to do with something new coming to the game that I'm not going to talk about. So in many ways I am happy, because I think there has been some feedback on some stuff, and I think the developers have decided that they need to make some new changes, or they certainly need to do some stuff with that information in order to make sure that what they're bringing to us is the best possible content they can. And so in many ways, yeah, I mean, could I see this coming? Sure. Yeah, and definitely. Did I expect it to happen? No, I didn't, actually. I didn't think Ubisoft would allow them to do this, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. But I do trust Yannick, and if Yannick says that they need more time in order to make sure this is good, then that is good. I am surprised about the Apparel Event, I have to admit, and I'm very disappointed with the Apparel Event in particular, because it now means that we're not going to have any content, guys, to even anything in the game new for a very long time. Now, I presume that the new Apparel Event will still come out before the new content. I suspect the new Apparel Event might actually come out in February now, and then we get the new content in maybe April, May time. That's what I'm going to guess. I also think that this may have been pushed back as a result of Heartland. Now, if we were to take the timeline that they gave us a while back, and I do that because it looked like a timeline, but it could have been taken differently, then Heartland was actually meant to drop before the Division 2. I actually theorised that Heartland would drop at the same time as the new Division content, and that could still be the case. So it might be that Heartland needs some more time. We know there was actually a new kind of update to Heartland's closed test, which I didn't actually cover on this channel recently. And it was like a 20 gigabyte update. So they're definitely working on Heartland, and it could be that Heartland is not ready, and so that needs to come out at the same time as the new content, and so they're trying to fit it at the same time. And because Heartland's been delayed, then the Division 2's been delayed, and they're never going to own up to that. It could be that Heartland needs to come out before this new content comes out, and it's been delayed, and so this has been delayed. It's many reasons, but if we just take it on kind of face value here, guys, then I'm never going to bash a dev for taking more time to make sure an update is good, because that very rarely happens these days. I mean, it did happen with COVID and stuff, but really what we're seeing now is games being pushed out when they're not ready, and updates being pushed out when they're absolutely not ready. And I wouldn't want that to happen here. I wouldn't want them to push this out and break the game and all of us be disappointed. So if they need an extra couple of months to make it happen and make sure it's good, then great. Let's hope that I hope that the 5-6 month or more delay that they need in order to make this happen is worth it. Because if they drop the content and it's not good, and it is also unfinished, then these delays will feel like it's for nothing, and they're going to get even more of a backlash than ever. But overall, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. I'm not happy, but I understand, and I'm kind of happy at the same time, if that makes sense. You guys get what I mean. I've explained in this video, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. Until the next one, Epic out.